Hello and welcome to the 15th and last week together here in History of Psychology. Now I say last week because I have moved the chapter 15 material from next week into this week. Nothing changes. And let me describe. So let me go through what we're going to be doing and then how we're going to finish off the class. So we start off looking at chapter 14 and we talk about psychoanalysis, and the discussion focuses on Alfred Adler, by far one of my favorite psychologists. Very cool stuff. You folks are already into the discussions. You're already going with that, so you're going to continue with that. The quiz looks at Carl Jung's work, playing off of Freud's personality structure, the iceberg floating in the ocean, and now we're talking about the ocean, the collective unconscious, and the creatures that live in the ocean, the archetypes. At least that's how I like to think about those things. So a quiz expressing your understanding of those concepts. The chapter 14 assignment asks you to complete an online version. It's a kind of a play on the Myers-Briggs type inventory called 16 Personalities, and it's actually a really rich site. It's very, very well crafted and put together, and your assignment will take that test, research the results that you get and outcomes, and sort of talk about how well did that test actually identify your personality. Now, chapter 15 kind of wraps up our material by looking at what's going on in temporary psychology. And the focal points of there, I have a discussion on artificial intelligence, get into that, and a quiz that looks at kind of the latest research in quantum physics and how that is making its way into understandings of consciousness and cognition and whatnot. Do some reading on that and describe that, your understanding of that. And then I bring to the table the idea of ecological validity. And what does that mean? So the quiz asks about physics and its impact or understanding on consciousness and cognition. And the second question has to do with ecological validity. At the same time, we have the final special assignment of the timeline. Be sure to look at my example. I will say, however, that I've noticed by reviewing my own work that there's some material that didn't translate well into the PDF. You get some material that's incomplete. I need to fix that. But the formatting, the 4-column formatting of that particular document is how I want that presented. So make sure you look at that example. You're looking at one psychologist. You're picking one that hasn't been done. I take these, and historically I've identified some, and I've actually put them into the course books. You can see a number of them and the authors. You become part of the content of this course book as it builds over time. Now, I've taken next week's material and I put it into this week's material because we're ending the class and people are actually in the discussion boards and you're getting things done. So go ahead and do that. I'm not going to be holding to the due dates on the quizzes and assignments until next week. Get them done. The discussions, however, all have to be done. So there are 2 discussions. You have to get them done this week. The other things, the quiz, the assignment on the quiz for chapter 14, assignment for chapter 14, and the quiz for chapter 15. Get them done, but you don't have to get them done by Sunday. And the other big part is getting this paper done. So it's a matter of getting that. I will be grading as things come in as we wind up this class. So we have this week and next week to bring all this together so that by the end of next week, everything is done. Grade the class and we're good to go. So this is the last video that I'll be posting. So no more weekly videos, but I'm still around, still able to answer questions, post questions in the discussion boards, post questions to me in email. Let's finish the class off strong. It's been a wonderful experience. I wasn't expecting to teach this class. I haven't taught it in a very long time. My faculty have been teaching it, and so it was very enjoyable and very enlightening as I look at the material. And in truth, a little factoid for you is I'm going to be updating the textbook. It's still not a real modern version. Still, I might change textbook. I might trying to find a better take on a couple issues. And first, the missing content of racial and gender diversity within the history of psychology, making sure that this class captures that missing history. And there's certainly been a lot of work to get that in there. I'm either going to find a textbook that is directly addressing that issue, or I'm going to supplement with other materials. And in addition to that, some of the more modern theories of that are part of our history now. We didn't really end with psychodynamic theory. Freud wasn't the last. There's been tons of stuff that are now history because things have moved on, and getting the material to capture that in a much better way. And so you haven't missed out on anything really, except for the gender and racial stuff. But but certainly enriching that material is going to be a fun project for me next fall, getting it ready for spring. So thank you for a great class. Been great getting to know you. Really, really interesting discussions going on in this class. Very, very fun. History is very interesting, very fun, and very informative. Helps us to understand why and how we got here. So I really appreciate taking that journey with you. So take care. Have a great summer. Email me with any questions that you might have, and I will definitively see you folks around. Take care.